The pandemic has taught me that the best ideas don't necessarily come from just the boardroom. My name is Sarah Stasiak. I'm the Vice President of Finance and Operations for the Forks North Portage Partnership. We are a community gathering place. It is a 52-acre site that hosts 300 events a year. We have about 60 tenants, both restaurants and retail, as well as museums and tons of public space. Return to normal is not going to be a return to normal. It's going to be a return to brand new. And then all of a sudden, it was just the brakes were on and everything changed. And as a gathering place, like, this is what we do. We gather people, and so it was no longer safe to gather. So people stopped visiting, which meant they stopped spending money, which was devastating for our tenants. We had to really redefine who we were and understand who our stakeholders were and what their needs were going to be in the midst of all of this as well. The numbers do not lie. When we don't have the traffic, we don't have the revenue, we can't sustain our business in the way that we had it before. We don't know if our accounts receivable are going to be coming in anytime soon. So we had to look at the cash that we had in the bank, we had to look at our liquidity, and we had to minimize our expenses immediately. We're able to position ourselves in a way that we can be respectful of all of our stakeholders, because while, yes, our mission is what drives us, we can't drive a mission without having a solid business behind us. People continue to come to our site. We couldn't shut down the outside spaces, so we needed to understand what solutions that we could provide. We immediately stopped charging our tenants rent, for instance. It was important to us that we were able to help every way that we could. The teams were coming together in new ways. We were looking at finances in absolutely new ways, and we're sharing a lot more information across the boundaries of departments. We can rebuild patiently, and we can rebuild thoughtfully, and we can honor the social justice movements. We can honor what society needs right now. We can do some true consultation with our community to understand what we as a gathering place need to be for our community in the 21st century. You know, we can't rely on the old ways of doing things, but we need to be able to be nimble and to be able to adapt really quickly, because where we used to be able to predict what the world was going to look like in a year, we surely can't do that anymore. I'm coming through this pandemic with wide respect for every single person who works for our organization. The advice that I'd give to a CPA is to be more open than ever before. We don't know what direction we're going to be going, but I'm really confident that with the foundations that I have as a CPA, that I'm really well positioned to chart the course and turn the Forks organization into an organization for the 21st century.